Hello, hello. This is Jessie's Gamer Girl, ASMR, and today we are playing TFT Teamfight Tactics. This is a really fun game, at least I think so, and a highly requested video by my little sister. It is a one-player or a two-player game where you can play against 8 people that you know, or up to 8 people. And then there's a game mode where you can play together with another person. So, we're going with the purple theme. We are playing Cosmic Abyssa. She is super cool, or he. I'm not sure. But it's a super cool skin. It's blue and purple. And we have my little sister. Okay, let's get going. I think we're gonna do Poppy. And then well, actually, I'm not sure. Poppy with that item is a little odd. But it doesn't really matter what you start off with. Anyone or any champion who has an item will pass the first round. And look at us showing off. Oh, we got a blitzcrank. Okay, so let's go for some scrap action. So this game is a little bit like chess. If you guys haven't played it before, I say chess, it's chess. But you can play it through the League client. And Riot is the author of the game, I suppose. Anyway, this is kind of like a newer version of their normal game. We're gonna go for Ascension, which is pretty cool. Okay. Okay. And we were gonna go Clockwork, but I don't think so. I think the best way to really go is Innovator. Scrap Innovator is the name of the build. Because you have Ezreal, who is a Scrap Innovator, and Echo, who is a Scrap Innovator. So if you look on the right hand side, it shows you who you're up against. And if you click on any of those people, you can see what their team builds are. So the point of the game is to get a better team than everyone else. And then you take people down health by beating their team, and the last one with the most health standing wins. So I think we are going to grab a needlessly large rod. Probably. Yeah. We're going to 2-star Ezreal. So the way you can get 2 stars in this game is you buy champion cards, and then when you buy the champion card, the champion shows up on your bench. Now if you get 3 of a champion, you make them a 2-star. If you make 3 2-stars, you get a gold star, and then that's where it caps out, I believe. So on the left hand side, you can see the buffs that we're getting because of the champions that we've picked. Each champion has a certain buff that goes with it. This game is really great if you're looking for just a mouse clicking game. You don't have to push any buttons on your keyboard or anything like that. It's a really great game when you just want to focus on something and something else. So, as you can see with the innovator buff, we get a little bug there in the middle. If you get 3 innovator, you get the bug. If you get 5 innovator, you get the bear. And if you get 7 innovator, you get the dragon. The dragon is the most powerful and also the hardest to get, because there are only 6 innovator champions. Now, the number of champions that have that buff that are on your board, not on your waiting bench, but on your board, that's when those buffs start applying. And there's a minimum requirement of champions to put on the board to get those buffs. So it's really cool because there's a multiple amount of ways that you can win. Now, I think we're going to put lots of crit on Ezreal for right now, because he is what's considered an 80 carry, which is like attack damage. Now, attack damage is like physical damage, and some champions do physical damage, and some champions do magic damage. And depending on the type of damage user they are, or if they're a defender, like a shield, or like super heavy tank is what they're usually called, that'll depend on what items you put on them. So you can see Ezreal has some items on him, and so does Zillion. Oh, that one was close, we almost lost. Now we are at the little rock formations. These will give us items. So you have the rocks, you've got the wolves, and you've got the birds. Okay, we got some gold. We got a belt. And, oh, needlessly large rod. Ooh, second wind. I think that's what we're gonna do. Second wind is really good because it allows your champions to regain their health after a certain amount of time. And we're gonna put Morellonomicon on Zillion because he does what's called an AoE attack. So an attack, AoE, area of effect. So that means he does a large area of damage on multiple people. Echo is the same way, whereas Ezreal only does his ult on one person. And Morellonomicon's really good for people who do an AoE because it burns them. Okay, now here are the wolves. Oh, and we're gonna get a 2-star cinched, which means we only have 4 innovator. So I guess we can go for that for right now. There are a bunch of different categories that each champion fits into, and not every champion is played the same, which is kind of cool. Oh, we got a spatula. I always go for loaded dice, especially in hyper roll. If you're looking for a champion to either make a 2-star or find a bunch more of them, like the innovator champions, those are always good to use to find champions that you're just not finding when you're rolling. Now, in the original game of this, you have to also level up with your gold. But in Hyper Roll, you only have to roll for champions, which is something I really like about this game mode, because sometimes it can be a little bit difficult. He looks kind of upset. Oh well.
Time to start some trouble.
Still mind, swift movement.
I think, yeah, we want Aurelia. She's pretty good. So each champion can be categorized as 1 cost, 2 cost, 3 cost, 4 cost, or 5 cost champions. That means that they cost a certain amount of gold. So 1 cost champions, you guessed it, they are a little bit weaker than 2 cost champions. 2 cost champions. And then 2 cost champions are a little bit weaker than 3 cost champions, and 3 cost and 4 cost, and 4 cost and 5 cost, and so on and so forth. And we are just really wrecking, and it really bugs me that all that treasure is on that board. We're looking pretty good, actually. We haven't lost another round, which is pretty fantastic. And then there's another 2-star Ezreal, but I get the feeling if we don't get another Ezreal quickly, we're probably going to sell him. At least that's the feeling I get. Okay, now these are the birds. If you were paying attention, we will get items from these birds. Oh, a gold orb. I wonder if we're gonna get a spatula. Yes, we did. Oh, and we get Luden's Echo. Featherweight is also good, but I think we're gonna go for Luden's. Now our champions will do a lot of damage to multiple people. They will heal and they will get extra attack damage, I think.
I recommend skipping.
And we're gonna multiply. And we're gonna put the 2 spatulas together. Off we go. Okay. So you see the red highlighted over our opponent's name? That means that if they lose one more round, they are out of the game entirely. At least this game, they can start a new game, and they are out because we had a better team than they did, and better buffs. Now Kaisa is a great champion. She is a 5-cost champion, and she's our first 5-cost champion that we've seen. And she does a great AoE attack. And we are going to see if we can get a specific item on her. Now, yeah. You see Ezreal, he's with his AoE. He's doing lots of burn damage on these really heavy champions. So I was a little concerned that we were going to lose there. But we did great. As you can see, Echo is doing most of our damage right now. Yes, we got Jinx. And Jinx is perfect for our build because she is a scrap champion and she destroys everyone. So we are going to put her in the Socialite Spotlight, which gives her quite a few extra buffs. And we're going to take our items off of Ezreal. Unfortunately, to take items off of champions most of the time, you have to sell that champion. There is a claw that allows you to take items off of champions without selling them, but you're not always guaranteed to get that item. So I would just sell the champion if you can afford it.
Inevitably.
And we got challenger buff, so we are gonna deck Jinx out. We're gonna put challenger on her and Infinity Edge. And that Infinity Edge and that last whisper are so crucial to an AD carry build. It allows her to do damage over time. And it allows her to do damage, more damage, when she crits. And the Infinity Edge allows her to crit every time, I believe.
Don't worry, I got you.
So we're gonna watch this play out.
Follow my voice.
Okay, now see Jinx is gonna jump in and she is gonna destroy the backline. She'll do that every time. When she needs her ult. So every champion has what's considered an ult. And when their mana bar fills up, their ult goes off. Now, certain champions who have really strong ults will have a much bigger mana bar to fill up because their ult is better than everyone else's, and it would be unfair. So Ezreal just does a little more damage with his ult. So his ult only takes 20 mana, whereas, let's see, a good example would be Seraphine. She heals and damages with her ult, so it takes over 100 mana for her to get her ult. And we just made that guy lose too. Oh yeah, and somewhere along the line we got 5 Innovator, which means we got the bear. Now, the max amount of champions you can normally have is 9 on the board once you get leveled up to level 9. So, whatever level you are is the amount of champions you can have on the board. We are going to switch out Singed and Jace because I don't think we're going to be getting an Innovator symbol anytime soon. We're going to check out the other team to see how they're doing and see if we need to change our strategy in any way.
Too late to run.
It looks like we're doing good. We're going to choose a full item. I think we're going to go with Stone Plate. And we're going to put that on Jace. Now, depending on where Jace is placed, he will do different roles. So if Jace is up front, he will play what's considered a tanky bruiser role. And if he is placed in back, he will play a role like Ezreal, where he's like an AD carry. Now let's see, this person has an Ahri, which is really scary. Ahris always are a little terrifying as champions because they do a lot of damage to a lot of people if they last for a long time. But see, Jinx is back there just destroying everyone, although that brand is pretty scary. Okay, I think we're gonna pass up and try to just shoot for a 2-star Jace or a 2-star Irelia or a 2-star Kaisa. I'm not really particular. Something kind of cool that I forgot to mention at the beginning is that Blitzcrank, the robot up front, he has a special ability where his mana bar is full at the start, so his ult goes off right away, which is he grabs a champion and he pulls them back. And look at us, we won! That is not an easy thing to do sometimes. So yay us! We got some pretty great buffs and some pretty great items. We had a pretty solid team build. Okay. Let's see. Now you wait to see. Oh, we got lots of XP for that one. And these are all the different missions that you can do for rewards. Mainly XP. And it looks like we got an egg. So I think we'll open that up right now just to make you guys see what's up with that. Let's see what we got. Awesome, we got a Nakana Feather Knight. I have been wanting the Feather Knights really bad, so I'm really glad we got one. Anyway guys, that was our video. I hope you have a lovely night, and I'll tell you what I tell my sister every night. I love you so much, and I hope you have a wonderful night, and I hope you have a good night. Good night guys.